my name is Teacher Candice, and I work for VIPKid. I just want to give you a quick rundown of what VIPKid is, and some things about like pay and a little bit about me if you're interested. But let me just tell you first the things that you probably actually want to know. VIPKid, what is it? It's an online ESL company. It's Chinese children who are learning to speak English. It ranges from literally like kids that know zero English. They might barely know how to say hi. They might not even know how to do that. To kids that probably pronounce words better than me and you do. It goes pretty high. And, so you could be teaching, A, apple, good job. High energy, they do want that. So, I've been working for VIPKid for a little bit over a year, but let me just start with this, okay? So, things that you want to know. Base pay, between $7 and $10. It ranges. You will have an initial interview, and that's how your pay rate will be determined. They are supposed to take into account your experience and other things like that. Okay, by the way, I use Manicam, which is like this thing you can look it up if you work for the company because it helps to reduce your prop usage. And I'm like all about these glasses nowadays. So, putting my glasses on. I guess the lowest I've heard of anyone getting is 7. I think the average is probably around 8 to start off with. They have a point system, but like your initial interview is when they decide, and it really, you could have 20 years of experience and have a doctorate and still end up, at the lower rate if you don't, in the interview, if you don't do what they're looking, have what they're looking for. And I can make another video about what is expected in the initial demo or initial conversation when they're determining the pay rate. So that is 7 to 10 per class. A class is 25 minutes. So that ends up being $14 to $20 an hour. I think the highest you could start off with as a new person is 9, and then you can work your way up to 10. But don't quote me on it. I don't know. But that's what they advertise on the website. So, there is incentive options where you can make up to $2 per class over the base rate of the 7 to 10. So you get $1 extra per class finished on time. But even people that, I've always been on time, and if you're not, then you might have a problem. But, even if you're not, as long as the class gets finished, I think you always get the $1. I've never not gotten that $1, and I've been here over a year for that. And then there's another $1 if you teach over 45 classes, then you make this additional $1 per class. Referral bonus up to $100, or I think it kind of fluctuates. They have all the times they have different incentives and things going on that they offer different rates for referrals. But right now I think it's $100 per person that signs up under your name. So with that being said, if you use my referral link or anyone else's, definitely use them as a resource. Ask them any and every question that you have, because they will make some money off of you signing up and once you teach your first class. Number of students, it's one-on-one. There's lots of different ESL companies, and some of them go up to 4. Actually, I saw one the other day where I think you're teaching like a live Chinese class, and it's like 25 students or something. But basically, this one it's one student, one teacher. Feedback is required. It's nothing crazy, just bow, learned letters A, B, and C today, and he did a great job, and awesome, and he's the bee's knees, whatever. The cancellation policy can be a little bit strict, and that could be a whole nother video, but I will just say you get 6 cancellations per 6-month contract. But that one cancellation can be up to 3 classes. Gets a little bit more complicated because the most cancellations you can have in a Beijing day is 2. So even if you canceled 20 classes and they were all in one Beijing day, it would not count as more than 2 cancellations. And then they have like another policy where if you're like hospitalized and you're dying or something like that, then they have these soft and medium cancellations, and it's like different degrees of emergency, I guess. So those cancellations are supposed to be like separate and not count against you. I don't know if anyone 100% knows the rules on that. I know that they're supposed to, at least that those soft and medium, and like once again, this could be a whole other video, are supposed to keep you from not getting your current contract canceled, but it could affect your next contract. I have not come across this issue, but I have heard rumblings of people not getting contracts renewed because they went over their soft, which we previously were thought to not affect you really in any way. So anyways, now class length is 25 minutes. I did mention that. There's no minimum number of classes. That's one of the reasons that I started. Well, first it was one of the reasons that I hesitated to start, and then it's one of the reasons that I did start, is because a lot of companies will say like you have to teach 12 classes a week or 15 classes a week, and I think it has to be the same time spot. And I was like, well, hold on. I want something that's like I don't really have to commit to, because I started doing this part-time. I do it full-time now. Full-time. It's an independent contractor position, so it's up to you how much you are willing to put in and if you can get the students. But I was like, I want to do it when I want to do it and not do it when I don't want to do it. And I do have that flexibility, and you do too. Because there is no minimum and really no maximum. There are people, and I have seen the receipts, and people that make $7,000 a month working here. You could do it. It would totally, if I did that, it would totally negate the reason that I started doing this, especially full time, which is to spend more time with my daughter. So I do not. I would just be like working and sleeping if I worked that much to make $7,000, but it's possible. So anyway, but you can definitely make a full-time salary, doing it. You can work 40 hours a week and make a good salary, but as an independent contractor, there are no taxes taken out, so do keep those things in mind, that you have to take care of your own taxes. Requirements: you do need a bachelor's. At some point, you did not need a bachelor's. You needed just an AA, and I think as long as it has something to do with education, but they have since changed the rules with that. I know that I guess that's a big selling point for parents, that the teachers have a bachelor's degree. But with that being said, you can have a bachelor's degree in what's the thing people say, like underwater basket weaving. It could be in literally anything, and people come from all walks of life that decide to do this for whatever reason, just for extra money, and because it's fairly easy job, especially if you know the platform and you've been doing it I've been doing it for like over a year. I feel like a lot of these lessons I could teach in my sleep. It's all about the energy you put into it, and yeah, good job, like be really positive with the kids. ESL certificate is not required. It might help you if to get a higher base pay. I don't have an ESL certificate. I have a TG certificate. But that's not even required. As I said, you could have a bachelor's in anything and you could get hired. I know they do want some kind of teaching experience, but it doesn't have to be like a formal teaching experience. It could be, I tutored my friend's kid, my own kids. I homeschooled my kid. It could be something like that. people who have worked at churches, helping some kind of interaction with kids. They just want pull that from somewhere. I'm sure you can think of a time that you worked and interacted with kids and talk about that. So no experience is necessary. You don't have to have any previous experience. I had tutoring experience. I had teaching experience. I was a teacher for 8 years and worked as director of education for a tutoring company for 2 years, but I did not have any online ESL experience when I started. They do want native speakers of US or Canada, but you can live in other parts of the country. There are people that I know are living the dream. They're expats all over, like traveling and working, because you can work from home as long as you have your computer and they want you to be hardwired. That's another requirement I was going to mention. You don't have to have, I don't think I have any kind of fancy, great internet. Honestly, I don't even know because it's just included in my rent, but it's fine. It works for me. Computer, obviously you have to have a computer, but you can even have an iPad. They have an app so you can teach from an iPad. You do need a headset with a microphone. This works wonders for me. I think this cost me like $35 at Walmart. And it's lasted for most of the time that I've been working here. That's the gist of it. If you have any other questions, feel free to contact me. I will put my email and my referral link below. But I will say that this job has afforded me to, my ultimate goal basically was to be able to spend more time with my daughter. And when I don't want to work, close those slots. I don't want to work. I want to go on vacation. So I work, make money, have fun, live life. And that's it. I'll make some other videos when I can think of other questions that people might have, or if you comment below, I will try to make another video or answer your questions through email. And that's it. Thanks for listening. And as far as my opinion, should you work for VIPKid? Yes, you should. It's a lot of fun. Sometimes I'm like, really? I'm actually getting paid to do this. I will say one other thing, that as an independent contractor, we were getting paid once a month. They do have the option now to get paid twice a month. So previously the pay was once a month on the 15th of the next month. And it goes from like the first of the month to the last day of the month. So like, for instance, pay for July went from July 1st, Beijing time zone, to the end of July, Beijing time zone. And then that pay was supposed to be on the 15th, but actually now they pay us earlier. Then they said it was going to be on the 10th, but then mine came on the 7th. And I signed up for well, it's not bi-weekly, it's bi-monthly or semi-monthly or something. And so my next paycheck is supposed to be next week. So that'll be for like half of the month, from the 1st to the 15th of August. So it's a cool gig. Give it a try if you're interested. It is a little bit of a process, but it's worth it in the end. And it's really not. It's pretty easy, especially if you worked in the corporate world or you've worked in a classroom. This is a nice gig. All right. See ya in the VIPKid land. All right. Bye. Thanks for listening.